Good morning. It's time for Chaos Out of Bed for Thursday, February 22nd. Our story for today will be discussing those two threats to Plattsmouth public schools. First, a look at your weather. Some snow overnight. How much do you have out there this morning? It's supposed to be an inch or so. It should be fading away as the morning moves on, and the rest of your day cloudy, a high of 30. Now we do get some more snow going again this afternoon around 2 or 3 p.m. And this could go from snow to freezing rain about the time for that commute back home between 4 and 6, and then shifting back and forth between snow and freezing rain throughout the evening. They're saying another inch or two through the evening and a low tonight around 24. Now, I do this program very early in the morning, so at this point I'm unaware of any school closings or delays. If there are any, we will have those posted as soon as possible on the Castastic Facebook page if those do occur. The Castastic thought of the day: the greatest legacy one can pass on to one's children and grandchildren is not money or other material things accumulated in one's life, but rather a legacy of character and faith. That was said by Billy Graham. And of course, you probably heard yesterday, we lost that giant, a gentle but mighty giant, one who deserves more attention than any celebrity, I think. 99 years, a life well lived, a giant in the Christian faith, and just a all-around great person. But an eternal life now begun. So our big story this morning, let's talk more about the threats to Plattsmouth High School. Where do we begin? At this time, I haven't found anything more that you likely aren't aware of. So here's where we're at. There was the threat to the school uncovered earlier this week. Authorities with the school and the Cass County Attorney's Office dealt with it swiftly, and thank God for all they did to prevent this. I know they are being bombarded with questions right now, but let's pause and thank them for actually stopping something bad. And then Tuesday evening, we learned there was a second threat to the school, prompting the canceling of classes on yesterday, Wednesday. And the plan, as of the time of the program here today, was for school to resume today on Thursday. Though there could be some weather issues this morning. That was the statement by Dr. Hasty, the superintendent. And most of you have probably seen the joint statement from the Sheriff's Department and the school. Here's some of the statement from Dr. Hasty that was posted on the Plattsmouth Schools website. Dr. Richard Hasty, the superintendent, said this: "We recognize this is a very scary time. We're all concerned about the safety of our children. First, I would like to apologize for the error in the system that resulted in some not receiving the initial message. A check and balance system has been added to ensure this will not happen again. The second threat was unfounded. However, to assure the safety of our students, our high school was searched by officers and a K-9 unit on Wednesday evening to ensure that our building is safe. I also want to assure you that steps were taken so that no students were in danger anytime on Tuesday. We have numerous preventive measures in place to assure the safety and well-being of our students. These measures have enabled us to be proactive when concerns have arisen. Students can expect to see increased law enforcement presence, and support will be on hand for students when they return. The administration and staff in our district are focused on our students' safety, and our safety plans are being reviewed and updated on an ongoing basis." So pretty good handling, I think, by Dr. Hasty and overall the school itself. Now, there are some big questions, legitimate questions, I think. You know, that notification system being one, but sounds like that has been addressed. And I think the big questions on people's minds that they're asking are basically two or three. A plan was found, a weapon was secured, presumably a gun, but we don't know that for sure. I think many would like that answered. Second, the two individuals involved were released to the custody of their parents. It just doesn't seem like the thing that would happen in this situation. The big question here is simple. Why? If there was such a credible threat to those of us on the outside, it just doesn't seem like that was enough. So what more can be done? Will charges be filed? How can the public be assured that these individuals are not a threat? Also, the individuals were banned from the school, expelled. That's certainly the right thing to do. But how do we ensure that that actually keeps them off school grounds? It's been determined there was no connection to the second threat in the first. Presumably that second threat was a sick prank. So how do we prevent that from continuing to happen? Several months ago, there was the bomb threat, a fake threat to the middle school. There seems to be an issue with some of the students, so how do we stop that from continuing to occur? Also, did anyone see the TV interview with Deputy Lamb? It was a Facebook Live session yesterday. We linked to it on Castastic. It was very awkward. Now, credit to Deputy Lamb for doing it and doing the best he could. I think that's just a situation that I'm sure he's never thought he would have to be in. It was very lengthy, which didn't help the awkwardness. It was 20 minutes long. He tried to answer some of those questions on people's minds, but judging by the Facebook comments, it seems not to have helped. One thing I noticed from the interview was they said the individual's mode of transportation had been removed. What exactly does that mean? It's not like they can't get out of the home and walk, perhaps find a ride wherever they would like to go. So we're just left to the guarantee and the assurance by law enforcement that the parents will maintain custody and they will not be allowed to go wherever they wish. Again, I hate to beat up our law enforcement. It's just this is new territory, and a lot of us found it confusing. Deputy Lamb did say in the interview the custody issue had to deal with a number of factors. The threat being determined as neutralized, the individuals being juveniles, also the resources involved, and mostly the ongoing investigation. He had this to say in the Plattsmouth Journal, an article yesterday. He said if the investigation would have shown that they were ready to act on something belligerent, or if the threat would have been ongoing, we would have gone to the next step, Lamb said. But you go to the first step because everybody has rights, and you need to take the least restrictive action. If we sent every juvenile who did something contrary to a juvenile holding facility, we'd pay a charge of $200 per day to hold them. These places are full now. We'd have no place to go with them. The legislature set out the procedure. Even if we would have placed them in a facility, by the time they got to a hearing or through the court system, 80% of the time they were released to a responsible adult. So look, this is partially an issue of limited resources and gray area of what to do in this situation. Cass County Sheriff Department is in a very delicate spot with all this. Deputy Lamb went on to add in the Plattsmouth Journal, we want the public to know we're doing what we can to maintain safety and people's rights. When all of the investigation is done, the reports will go to the county attorney's office. If they are under 18, it's likely to be filed in juvenile court, but the county attorney has a right to file in adult court. The court will have to decide what's best for society. Investigators are continuing to interview students who either have or may have direct knowledge of the allegations. They ask any students or anybody in the public who has firsthand knowledge, contact the Cass County Sheriff's Office. That number is 402-296-9370, 296-9370. So, back to my thoughts here. Just seems to be many working parts to this. They got the county attorney involved, juvenile crime issues, limited resources, the investigation itself. Hopefully we have more answers to all this very soon. At the end of the day, we're all thankful for our loved ones, our neighbors, and our friends that are safe. Take care, everyone. Let the police and school do their job. Be patient. Be vigilant. Stick together. That's the Castastic way. All right, everyone. We'll have more for you on Friday.